Worry. We all know it. That nagging feeling, it whispers doubts, it makes problems seem bigger. Worry is a heavy weight, it steals our happiness, it robs our peace. Worry can freeze us. It can make us feel stuck. We might feel helpless. We might feel overwhelmed, but there's hope. We can beat worry. We can find peace. God offers a better way. Worry is like a rocking chair. It keeps us busy, but it doesn't get us anywhere. We need to break free from worry. We need to turn to God. He is our safe place and our strength. Letting go of worry is a choice. It is a decision to trust God. It is giving our fears to Him. It is believing that He cares for us. Trusting God means believing He is good. It means believing He is powerful. It means believing He loves us. When we trust God, we find peace. We can't control everything, but we can control how we react. We can choose to worry, or we can choose to trust God. He is in control. He will always be with us. The Bible is full of verses about worry. God knows we struggle with it. He offers comfort and guidance. He reminds us not to be afraid. He tells us to give Him our worries. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. These verses offer hope. They remind us that we are not alone. God is with us. He cares for us a lot. He wants to carry our burdens. Beating worry is a journey. It takes time and practice. Here are some helpful steps. 1. Pray. Talk to God about your worries. Give them to Him. Ask for His peace. 2. Read the Bible. Find comfort and encouragement in God's words. 3. Focus on what you can control. Do something about what you can. Let go of what you can't. 4. Be thankful. Be thankful for the good things in your life. My own journey of trust has been a profound and transformative experience. It has shaped who I am today, and continues to guide me in ways I never imagined. I remember a time when I was overwhelmed with worry. The weight of uncertainty pressed heavily on my shoulders, and I felt lost in a sea of doubt. Every decision seemed monumental, and the fear of making the wrong choice paralyzed me. I had a big decision to make, one that would impact not just my life but the lives of those around me. The pressure was immense, and I found myself standing at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. I didn't know what to do. The options before me were daunting, and the fear of failure loomed large. I spent countless hours agonizing over the possibilities, my mind racing with what-ifs and maybes. I was afraid of making the wrong choice. I prayed and prayed, seeking clarity and wisdom. I turned to my Bible, hoping to find solace and direction in its pages. The words offered comfort, but the answers I sought remained elusive. I asked God for guidance. Slowly I felt peaceful. It wasn't an immediate transformation, but a gradual shift. As I spent more time in prayer and reflection, a sense of calm began to wash over me. I started to trust that I wasn't alone in this journey. I realized that I didn't need to have all the answers. The pressure to know every detail and predict every outcome began to fade. I understood that some things were beyond my control, and that was okay. What mattered was my faith and trust in God's plan. I just needed to trust God. Surrendering my worries and fears to Him was liberating. It allowed me to move forward with a sense of purpose and confidence, knowing that I was being guided by a higher power. I made the best decision I could with what I knew. It wasn't about having all the answers, but about taking a step of faith. I trusted that God would fill in the gaps and lead me where I needed to go. I trusted that God would work everything out, and He did. It wasn't always easy. There were moments of doubt and fear, but each time I reminded myself of the peace I felt when I surrendered my worries to God. But I learned to rely on God's strength, not my own. This journey taught me that true strength comes from faith and trust. It showed me that even in the face of uncertainty, I could find peace and direction by leaning on God's wisdom and love. The power of prayer. Giving our worries to God. Prayer is a powerful tool against worry. When we pray, we talk to God, we tell Him our fears, we ask for His help, we give our worries to Him. Prayer is not about saying words, it's about talking with God. It's about telling Him everything. It's about trusting that He hears us. When we pray, we ask God to help us. We know He is bigger than our problems. We trust that He can handle them. Prayer brings peace. It reminds us that we are not alone. Finding peace in God's presence, seeking His comfort. Being with God is peaceful. When we spend time with Him, our worries go away. We are filled with His love. We remember His promises. We can be with God through prayer, worship, and reading the Bible. We can also find Him in nature, in quiet times, and with other people who believe in God. When we look for God, we find rest. We remember that He is in control. We are filled with hope. We are able to face our problems with courage. Embracing God's plan, trusting in His timing. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of wanting everything to happen immediately. We often find ourselves impatient, tapping our feet and marking our calendars, hoping for our desires to be fulfilled right away. Sometimes we worry because things aren't happening how we want. We see the clock ticking and feel the pressure of time slipping away. The anxiety builds up, and we start to question if things will ever fall into place. We want things to happen now. We want our plans to unfold exactly as we envision them. The impatience grows, and we become frustrated when things don't go our way. We want things to happen our way. We try to control every aspect of our lives, juggling multiple tasks and striving to make everything perfect. But in doing so, we often forget that there is a greater plan at work. But God's timing is perfect. Just like a flower blooms in its own time and a river flows at its own pace, everything in our lives happens according to His divine schedule. There is beauty in the waiting, and there is purpose in the delay. Trusting God means trusting His plan. It means surrendering our worries and anxieties to Him, knowing that He is in control. It means having faith that His timing is always right, even when we don't understand it. It means letting go of our own plans. Just as we release a balloon into the sky or watch leaves fall from a tree, we must release our grip on our own desires and trust that God has something better in store for us. It means doing what He wants. By aligning our actions with His will, we find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Whether it's through reading His Word or serving others, we draw closer to His plan for our lives. It means believing that He knows what's best for us. When we look up at the sky or gaze at the calm ocean waves, we are reminded of His vast wisdom and love. He sees the bigger picture, and He knows what we need even before we ask. God's ways are better than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Just as the mountains stand tall and the stars shine brightly, His plans for us are grand and magnificent. His thoughts are better than our thoughts. When we seek His wisdom and guidance, we find clarity and direction. The counsel of the wise and the smiles of those who have walked the path of faith remind us of the peace that comes from trusting in Him. When we trust His plan, we find peace. In the stillness of a lake or the tranquility of a garden, we experience the serenity that comes from knowing that He is in control. We can rest in His presence and find comfort in His promises. We can rest in His love. Surrounded by the love of family and friends, we are reminded of His unwavering care for us. We are never alone, for His love is always with us, guiding and protecting us. We are sure that He is making everything work out for us. As we watch the sunset and look hopefully into the distance, we trust that He is orchestrating every detail of our lives for our good. His timing is perfect, and His plan is always for our best. The joy of surrender, experiencing God's peace. Letting go and trusting God brings joy. It frees us from worry. It lets us feel God's peace. It opens our hearts to His love. When we surrender, we let go of control. We trust that God is in control. We find freedom in His love. We experience the joy of doing what He wants. Surrender is not being weak. It is being strong. It takes courage to let go. It takes faith to trust God, but it's worth it. Conclusion: a life free from worry. Worry is a choice. Every day we are faced with countless decisions, and one of the most significant choices we can make is how we respond to the challenges and uncertainties of life. Worrying is a natural response, but it is not the only option available to us. We have the power to choose our thoughts and our reactions. By consciously deciding to let go of worry, we open ourselves up to a life filled with peace and joy. We can choose to think about our fears. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of anxiety, constantly replaying worst-case scenarios in our minds. This can lead to a state of perpetual stress, affecting our mental and physical health. But what if we took a different approach? What if instead of dwelling on our fears, we focused on the positive aspects of our lives? By shifting our perspective, we can break free from the grip of worry and start to see the world in a new light. Or we can choose to trust God. Trusting in a higher power can provide a sense of comfort and security, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. When we place our trust in God, we are reminded that there is a greater plan at work, and that we are being guided and protected. This trust allows us to release our worries and embrace a sense of peace that transcends our understanding. When we choose trust, we find peace. We experience joy. We live in freedom. Trusting in God doesn't mean that we will never face difficulties, but it does mean that we can approach these challenges with a calm and steady heart. By letting go of our worries and placing our faith in something greater, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Let go of your worries, give them to God, He cares for you. Imagine the weight that would be lifted from your shoulders if you no longer had to carry the burden of worry. By entrusting our concerns to God, we can experience a profound sense of relief and freedom. This act of surrender allows us to focus on the present moment and appreciate the beauty and blessings that surround us. He will always be with you. In times of uncertainty and fear, it is comforting to know that we are never truly alone. God's presence is a constant source of strength and support, guiding us through even the darkest of times. By trusting in His unwavering love and care, we can find the courage to face any challenge that comes our way. Trust in Him, and He will give you peace that is bigger than anything we can understand. This peace is not just a fleeting feeling, but a deep and abiding sense of calm that permeates every aspect of our lives. It is a peace that allows us to remain centered and grounded, no matter what external circumstances we may face. By placing our trust in God, we can tap into this limitless source of tranquility and strength. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. This powerful verse reminds us that we are always provided for and cared for by a loving and attentive shepherd. Just as a shepherd tends to the needs of his flock, God watches over us with unwavering care and compassion. We can rest assured that we will never be in want, for He knows our needs and provides for us abundantly. He makes me lie down in green pastures. In these green pastures we find rest and rejuvenation. It is a place of peace and tranquility, where we can lay down our burdens and simply be. This imagery evokes a sense of serenity and contentment, reminding us that we are always welcome to find solace in God's presence. He leads me beside quiet waters. These quiet waters symbolize the calm and stillness that we can experience when we place our trust in God. Just as a gentle stream soothes and refreshes, God's presence brings a sense of peace and renewal to our souls. By following His guidance, we can navigate the turbulent waters of life with a sense of calm and assurance. He refreshes my soul. Psalm January 3rd, 23. In these moments of refreshment, we are reminded of the boundless love and care that God has for us. Our souls are rejuvenated and we are filled with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. By trusting in God and letting go of our worries, we can experience a life that is truly free from worry, filled with peace, joy, and a deep sense of fulfillment.